His name was Mohammad Pakpour. He commanded Iran's most feared military force, and tonight he may be gone. The US and Israel have struck deep into the heart of the Islamic Republic. The target, its leadership. The question now echoing across the Middle East is, who's left standing? General Mohammad Pakpour, commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, has reportedly been killed in the ongoing onslaught by the US and Israel. If the reports by Israeli media are true, the significance is hard to overstate. Pakpour had only recently taken the job after his predecessor Hossein Salami was killed during last June's 12-day war between Israel and Iran. Iran has now lost 2 consecutive IRGC commanders to Israeli strikes, a decapitation of its military leadership that has no modern precedent. Iranian authorities denied the report, with a regime-affiliated channel saying all armed forces commanders were safe and calling the reports enemy propaganda. Reuters, however, citing an Iranian source close to the establishment, reported that several senior IRGC commanders and high-ranking political officials were killed in the strikes. Israeli sources also told CNN that other figures targeted in the opening phase included Ali Shamkhani, Secretary of Iran's newly formed Defense Council, and Ali Larijani, Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council. Their fates remain unconfirmed. One Israeli official summed up the mood in Jerusalem carefully.
We are cautiously optimistic regarding the results of the opening blow.
They struck first. Now Iran is striking back. Missiles over northern Israel, drones in the sky, and 2 leaders, Trump and Netanyahu, with one declared mission: topple the regime. Operation Lion's Roar has begun, the Middle East is on fire, and nobody knows where this ends. Explosions rocked northern Israel as Iranian missiles came streaking across the border, hours after the US and Israel launched a joint offensive against Tehran. The Israeli military confirmed the incoming fire, warning citizens that air defenses were working to intercept the missiles, but cautioning that the shield was not impenetrable. The army was quoted by Al Jazeera as saying that
An additional barrage of missiles was launched toward Israel.
Iran's IRGC later confirmed that it has launched missiles and drones towards Israel following the US-Israeli attacks.
In response to the aggression of the hostile and criminal enemy against the Islamic Republic of Iran, the first wave of extensive missile and drone attacks by the Islamic Republic of Iran towards the occupied territories has begun.
Meanwhile, Iran's state television said Tehran was preparing to take revenge on Israel and deliver what it called a strong response as the confrontation between the 2 countries deepened into open warfare.
An hour ago, Israel and the United States set out for a joint campaign, Operation Lion's Roar. The objective of the operation is to put an end to the threat posed by the Israeli regime in Iran. At this time, the IDF is attacking the objectives of this regime, the bases of the Revolutionary Guards, and, together with the U.S. Army, the sites of ballistic missiles that threaten both Israel and the U.S. forces.
US President Trump, speaking from Washington, was equally unambiguous.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
Back in Israel, Netanyahu warned that a nuclear-armed Iran would spell destruction for Israel and leave the country with no means to defend itself. Doing nothing, he argued, was the greater danger.
Iran is eager to rebuild their nuclear and missile capabilities and to plant them underground, where we will not be able to harm them. If we do not stop them now, they will become untraceable. And in the name of this, their representatives in the negotiations are trying to buy time with our American friends.
According to Al Jazeera, strikes have hit Tehran along with Kermanshah, Loristan, Tabriz, Isfahan, and Karaj. Reports from Tehran suggest the district of Pasteur, home to the presidential palace, was also struck, with people wounded in the area being taken to hospital. No senior Iranian official has been confirmed killed. According to Al Jazeera, Iranian officials were the main target of the first wave of the strikes on Iran. An Israeli source tells Channel 12 of very significant harm to senior figures in the Iranian regime and indications of direct hits. Internet connectivity across Iran has dropped to 54% of normal levels, according to the monitoring group NetBlocks, as state outlet IRNA battles cyber attacks that have left its website unreachable. A US official told Reuters the military is planning a multi-day operation, significantly broader than the single strike scenarios discussed in the days prior. Netanyahu also spoke directly to the Iranian people, telling them the time had come to break free from what he called the murderous grip of the Ayatollahs.
We have a common enemy, the murderous regime of the Ayatollahs, which took over you through the forces of oppression of the Revolutionary Guards and the Basiji. They are the ones who destroyed your wonderful country, destroyed it to the core. They are the ones who slaughtered protesters in front of you.
The offensive comes days after both sides wrapped up nuclear talks in Geneva, the second time US-Israeli strikes have cut across active diplomacy with Tehran. The United States has launched what President Donald Trump is calling major combat operations against Iran, striking the country alongside Israel in a dramatic military escalation that has sent explosions tearing across Tehran and several other locations nationwide.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
Trump announced the offensive in the early hours of February 28th, framing it as a response to decades of Iranian hostility and the regime's renewed pursuit of nuclear weapons following last June's Operation Midnight Hammer, which targeted nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts.
According to Al Jazeera, Israeli strikes have so far hit the Ministry of Intelligence, the Ministry of Defense, the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, and the Parchin military complex on the outskirts of the capital. Iran's state news agency IRNA and several other news websites are also facing cyber attacks, with IRNA's website inaccessible as of this report. According to the country's state media, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian is reported to be unharmed. Tehran has vowed to respond. An Iranian official told Reuters the counterattack would be crushing, while Ebrahim Azizi, head of the National Security Commission of the Iranian parliament, posted a stark warning on social media.
We warned you. Now you have started down a path whose end is no longer in your control.
Sources speaking to Al Jazeera from Washington suggest the US strikes were concentrated on areas where Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei may have been sheltering, with the stated aim of decapitating the Iranian regime. Several countries had cautioned the US against the operation, pressing for clarity on what comes after. Israel has simultaneously intensified strikes in southern Lebanon, targeting areas in the Iqlim al-Tufar region in what officials describe as preemptive action against Hezbollah rocket and missile infrastructure. Trump has vowed the operation will destroy Iran's missile industry, annihilate its navy, and permanently shut the door on any nuclear weapons program. He also addressed Iranian soldiers directly, offering immunity to those who surrender and urging civilians to remain indoors.